Hey folks, this is Matt once again. As you can see right now, I have a little bit of the flu. So just basically just sitting back, relaxing, drinking a lot of water. So if you excuse if I do that a lot, be getting some rest after this. But a little short mini DVD update. Let's see. 150. This probably cost me about $7.50. I know it was less than $8. Yeah, less than $8 for this amount of movies. So yeah, for 6 movies, about $7.50, $8 for 6 movies. Not too bad. These were $1.50 each. First one I got because I tried to collect a lot of Bruce Willis films, and I have the first one of this. And watching Indian, it's not as good as the first one, but at the same time, I don't think it's terrible. Yeah, I think it's a time waster, and that is The Whole 10 Yards. I do think the first one, The Whole 9 Yards, is a better film, but The Whole 10 Yards I didn't mind too much. I know this film flopped, maybe because it was, no one really asked for a sequel to this, but thought it was okay. Then this was $1.50. Entrapment, Sean Connery, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Sean Connery's like this thief, and Catherine Zeta-Jones is apparently this girl works for this insurance company. But you get little twists and turns and find little things that happen. Entrapment, a film that I think did pretty decent when it came out. It says special edition in big letters. I mean, it does have a commentary, some deleted scenes, about a 10, 13, at about 12, 13-minute featurette. But other than the length of the film, felt the film was a little too long. It's definitely not an action film, but Entrapment was okay as well. Sorry about that. I went out of screen so you didn't have to see that. This is also $1.50 that I got. Because again, it's an okay film. I got mainly because it has Sylvester Stallone in it. Because I am a big fan of him, despite what some people want to say. This is war. Only a few people will get that. Shade. It's basically about these gambling hustlers. You have Gabriel Byrne, you got Jamie Foxx, you got Melanie Griffith, you got Sylvester Stallone. Stars Stuart Townsend, who I'm not really a big fan of Stuart Townsend. But I got it because it was $1.50, and I thought Stallone did a good job in it. Plus, I see Jamie Foxx in there as well. Yeah, it's an okay film, but it's a time waster, but it's not great. And then I got this, which was $3. This was $3 for 3 movies, so basically $1 a piece for each movie. And that was mainly because to watch these again because I haven't seen them in forever. First is Sleepwalkers, film directed by Mick Garris. The DVD looks, I don't know why, this looks kind of weird. It almost looks like it'd be a Christmas movie or something. I don't know why it looks like snow or frost or something. But Stephen King's Sleepwalkers, I think this was a film that Stephen King had actually written, like a script he written for a movie. Um, as I said, there are little cameos by Clive Barker, Stephen King, Joe Dante, Toby Hooper, John Landis. Uh, Watching this film again, this film is not as bad as I remember. Uh, yeah, it's not as bad as I remember, Sleepwalkers. I know the big thing about this movie, you had that Enya song, Bodicea or something like that. It's the one that goes da 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 ba boom 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 da 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 boom boom da 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 ba da da. If you've seen the film or you listen to that track, you know what I mean. I mean, this movie pretty much really popularized that song, at least for some folks. Because I remember watching this when I was a kid. I'm like, what is that song? This cool song, but it's by Enya. Mainly it's about this mother and son. There's kind of an ancestral relationship, but they're sleepwalkers. Kind of part human, but also part cat-like creature. But cats, for some reason, regular cats can kill them. Like, they're afraid. It's weird that they're cat-like creatures, but for some reason, other cats, regular cats, they're afraid of and they get killed easily by them. And they also have these other powers, like the car, like the guy can make themselves go invisible, or like change his car from blue to red, and now the powers are kind of like, what the hell can these guys actually do? You know, but I didn't mind the film. Also noticing a lot of stuff like the lead girl, her parents are the parents from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The two like the guy who plays her mom and the girl who plays her. No, sorry, I'm out of it. The lead girl, her name I think is Majin Amit. Her mom is played by Cindy Pickett, and her dad, forget the guy's name, but the mom and dad also played the mom and dad in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. Plus, there's weird scene in the opening. The opening of the film seems like they just shot after the film, because the opening is you actually have Mark Hamill as a sheriff, and like they find a body of a girl that's seemed like she's been sucked dry. And then the credits roll, and you never see Mark Hamill or any of those characters again. It just has to establish the town they were in before the Sleepwalkers. But I mean, the makeup effects are pretty good. The cat-like creature, some crappy morphin, but when it's the cat-like creature effects are pretty good. You get some gore. Ron Perlman actually gets his fucking fingers bitten off and his arm broken. Get nasty death scenes, like a guy gets killed by getting stabbed with a corn in the back. Forgot about that. Maybe I'll do a more thorough of this review one day, but the film is better than I remember. Then Wolf. This probably was made because you had Bram Stoker's Dracula, you had Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, so okay, what can we do for werewolf? So they did Wolf. With Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer, James Spader. Directed by Mike Nichols. Apparently this film had a high budget, which I don't really understand why. Like, reading up on the film, apparently this film had like a $70-some million budget. You don't see it at all. It really is one of those things that must have gone to the actors and paychecks, because you don't see that much money worth on the screen. And I wasn't really a fan of this film watching it again. Jack Nicholson does fine. Michelle Pfeiffer, James Spader do okay. Special effects by Rick Baker. To be honest, I wasn't really that impressed by Rick Baker's effects. I mean, some of it when, Jack Nicholson, it's like basically just some hair and some teeth, and, when you do see little bits of the wolf, it's like, I think they look, I don't know. I mean, with Rick Baker involved, um, it didn't look, it looked okay, but it didn't look that impressive, to be honest. The problem with this film is just it's way too long. It's over 2 hours long, this film, and it drags. I thought the film really dragged out. So, I don't know what the hell they were going for, but I didn't care. And speaking of long, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. This is another film that I don't think I've seen all the way through until now. I just recently just watched this today. But this is one where you had Kenneth Branagh starring and directing. Not only directing, but starring as Frankenstein. You had Robert De Niro as the monster. You had Helena Bonham Carter, Ian Holm, Aidan Quinn, John Cleese. Apparently, Frank Darabont helped with the screenplay. One of the producers was Francis Ford Coppola. And Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, there's parts that I thought were okay about this. I mean, I don't think Robert De Niro did a bad job as the monster, but at the same time, he seemed like he got, like, smart way too quick. I mean, they show him, like, it's after being made, left for dead, he escapes. He, like, stays in the, kind of like the barn of this, cottage out in the woods. And he, like, listens a little bit. But then when it gets to a point where, he's talking, saying all these, highly class words with Kenneth Branagh, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's a different approach to the Frankenstein legend, but, I guess I bought it more when, Boris Karloff only had one or two or three words. It was just kind of mumbling through it. At least in Bride of Frankenstein. And that's what it is. This is pretty much, you take Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein, put them together, because I'll spoil it, fuck it. Helena Bonham Carter is Frankenstein's gal. And you do have a scene where, Robert De Niro's monster kills Helena Bonham Carter, rips her heart out, and then Kenneth Branagh tries to save her, and then she's all fucked up, of course, stitched up. And this is what I mean. There's a few parts that I like, okay. Runs away from the two of them, takes like a little lantern, and throws it on herself. And you have a wide shot of someone on fire running, left and right down the hallway, making the whole hallway on fire. You get a little effective scene like that, but I think they kind of screwed the pooch on the ending, because that's kind of the ending. Because then after you just find out, oh, I guess Kenneth Branagh had been hunting the creature to the North Pole. Kenneth Branagh dies from something. I don't know how the fuck he died. He's just tired. I don't know, he froze to death or what. But he was inside. I have no idea how the hell Kenneth Branagh died. Then the monster, like, weeps, and Aidan Quinn asks, "Why do you weep?" "Because he's my father." They don't bury him, when they bury it. Not bury, but, they don't burn him, the body. Of course, they're on ice, things shake. The monster says, "No, I don't want to be in the world of man." Goes to where the funeral pyre, sets both the body and him on fire. And I'm like, really? That's the ending? It just, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. And again, the film's over 2 hours long, so it just felt so fucking long. And there's no features on these, by the way, for those wondering. There's no features on any of this stuff. But anyway, but yeah, it was $3, so it's not like it broke the bank, and I was able to see him once again. Yeah, but anyway, that's those three. But anyway, that's my little DVD update. $7.50, maybe $8 for 6 movies. So stay tuned for another video, and I will see you later. Ciao.